This is what we will be working on for 2025. I'm going to do my best to not buy any new items until this garage is cleared out or until I run out of items in my booth. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this table because I'm going to be using this as my kitchen table, and it will help clear out some space so that I can get to the other stuff. But I can't even pull this out until I get these inside and cleaned up. So let's get going. I meant to get these two pieces cleaned up and put in my shop in my last video, but you know, life got in the way. Our sweet girl Piper ended up in the dog hospital, and unfortunately, many of you already know, but she did not make it. And I am sorry to have to share that, and I'm sorry if I'm emotional, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. But I gotta try and focus here because we have a lot to do today. So we cleaned this with some Windex and wiped the whole thing down, got it ready to go, and then we took it to the shop and hung it up in the booth. I have found that grief and stress is a really good motivator to get a lot of stuff done. So you're going to be actually really amazed at how many things that we get out of the garage today and put in the booth. I know that some of you are probably wondering why I would want my garage to be empty, because we do have 2 resale booths that we sell out of, so we need to have stock of things, right? But we need to also be able to park in the garage, and I have too many things. My ADHD brain can't keep doing this where I don't want to work on these projects. I would rather just go get a new one and feel all excited to get a new one. And plus, we have some serious financial goals that we want to meet this year, so I'll talk more about that in this video as well. Now we have this blanket. Oh, this beautiful tablecloth can go inside. And this is another tablecloth. So let's get these in the washing machine. Both of these came from the Goodwill bins, so that means I paid for them by the pound. I think I paid probably like $1 something per pound. I can't remember the exact amount. So for the 2 of them, I probably paid like $3 to $4 maybe. And I'm going to be reselling them in the booth. In fact, the blue and white one has already sold. So this one right here has already sold. I think this piece is vintage, but it is perfectly on trend for what is popular right now. This is something you could easily see at Ballard Designs. And then of course, this you saw in my last video. This pattern right here is really popular among decor for 2025. The next thing we need to do is move this big old table out of the garage so that we can get to more things that are behind it. This table I actually want to use in my kitchen. We got it off of Facebook Marketplace. They were asking $40, and then when we got there, they gave it to us for free plus 5 chairs. All right. Now the table's out, so we have some space to reach some things. I already see this, which we can wash and get into the booth. Yes, I am already decorating my booth with all the spring and Easter things, as well as Valentine's Day. Now there is this, we could get that in there. This cute little Easter egg was so adorable, and it sold immediately after I got it into my resale booth. Okay, I have some cute little hearts that can go. I got these from the Goodwill bins, and I'm not sure exactly how much I spent on them, but I would say probably $3. I didn't like how it was painted on the back, how you can see through the red paint, and it had that weird like stamp on the back. And I'm not a fan of red on Valentine's Day. This may sound weird, but after Christmas and all the red and green and like red and white, I'm all done using red by the time Christmas is over. I am a pink girl when it comes to Valentine's Day, so I decorate Valentine's with pink and white. These little straw strings were on there with a really heavy-duty staple that I couldn't get out very easily, so I thought, you know what, I'll leave them on there and reuse them in the design when I'm done. But I'm just using some white chalk paint to cover the red paint on here. And I'm going to leave the pink one how it is. It's really cute. It has this pink decoupaged print on there. And I think once I paint the other two hearts white and do like an antique distress on them, it's going to look really adorable, and it's going to help tone down that bright red. Are you somebody who even decorates for Valentine's Day? That is what I'm wondering, because I find that a lot of times when I do Valentine's Day content and Valentine's Day like home decorating and selling Valentine's Day stuff in my booth, it doesn't sell as well as other holidays. So do you decorate for Valentine's Day or not? And are you a red Valentine's Day person, or do you prefer pink and white, or do you do all neutrals? Let me know that in the comments section down below. But let's get back to talking about financial goals. So everybody in the new year has their New Year's resolutions, which mine, by the way, is to not eat any fast food for the year of 2025, although I have already messed that up. So I completely forgot that that was my New Year's resolution, because I'm just really smart and I do things like that. And I ate some french fries out of my son's food and was like, oh no, I ruined it. But I'm starting over. The hearts are finished painted, and I did 2 coats of white, and now it's time to do the antiquing on here. But I'm going to use a clear wax and an antiquing wax, because if you just go straight to antiquing wax, it's going to stick to that white so bad it's going to turn it brown instantly. So you got to add that clear wax in there as a buffer to help you blend it around. I had already some brown wax on this sponge brush, so then when I dipped it in the clear wax, it already had a little bit on there, and so it just did the right amount of antiquing wax on here. But my New Year's resolution was fast food, but I also have like New Year's goals that I like to set for myself. I don't always like follow through with them, like I already ruined my resolution, but you can always start back up again and keep going. So we have 2 teenagers now who are eventually going to need cars, which we need to save up for, and we want to take our kids to Disney next year, and so we have to save up for that. And my husband is a full-time student, so I am the breadwinner for the time being here doing YouTube. So since it's really like, it's a lot of pressure, you know, but since YouTube is our income, I decided that it would be smart for me to start working on my second channel. So I created a second channel like many years ago, never really posted much to it. It didn't get very much traction, so I just stayed focused on my DIY stuff. But I have started posting on there again, and it's actually doing really well. Like, I am amazed at how many views it's getting already. But what I have on there is my mom content. So I'm going to have cleaning videos on there, organizing, homeschool stuff, things like that. If you want to check it out, I'll have it linked in the description box down below. I really had been contemplating for so long if I should continue with that channel, and recently I just felt a calling to do it, and I just felt like this is the time that I need to do it. But don't worry, I still am gonna stay here on this channel and keep making awesome stuff. Look at how cute these hearts turned out. Oh, I love them. They sold immediately as well. And I think I staged them really well with the pretty plates and just the very shabby chic stuff. That little planter on the right hand side was a previous project from a video not that long ago. What do you think of how these hearts turned out? Is it better than the red and the white? I have this sweet little bunny. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. This bunny and these pillows are kind of a risk. I think they're really cute and adorable, but I could be totally wrong. And they haven't sold yet, and it's been a little while, so I don't know. We'll see. And then I have these cute heart wreaths. I'm not in love with these. They look a little not great, so I'll probably pull those off and leave the greenery and put in different flowers on these. My oldest daughter is going to help me out with this one. She actually really liked the roses, but like I was saying, I gotta be done with red after Christmas. I don't know why. Maybe it's my short attention span, but after Christmas is over, I don't want anything to be red again until like 4th of July. I'm sure that I'm in the minority there. I'm sure that many people enjoy red on Valentine's Day, but I just don't. I don't know. But I got these floral picks at Hobby Lobby. They were about $3 after the sale because, you know, the floral goes on sale all the time. They were originally 5, got them for 3. And I'm going to take 2 of them apart and create a really cute, more subdued look for Valentine's Day that I think fits more of the style that is trending now in this time, whereas the original design on here seemed a little bit more like maybe it was from, I don't know, the 90s. I'm not sure, but I love the 90s. I am not saying there's anything wrong with the 90s, but I do think that we have really evolved in such a wonderful way with design to where our cottage theme decor is really just amazing now. I really love the way that that has evolved over time. So I wanted this to mimic the newer version of the shabby chic look that was originally on here. It was a little bit more Dollar Tree before, and now it's looking more Kirkland's. What do you think? I love Kirkland's, by the way. What do you think? Really, let me know. Do these look better like this, or would you have kept the red? Am I crazy and I'm just the only one that didn't like the roses? That's totally possible. Remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But let's go grab some more stuff. I have these adorable storybook looking wall hangings that are all different Easter bunnies. So cute. They just need to be wiped down. They're like brand new. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm making a mess. It says VittorioSplendor.com. I don't know what that is. It's from Italy. That's cool. I really loved these when I saw them. I got these at the Goodwill bins as well. Same with those wreaths. Got them at the Goodwill bins. But I think these would look really cute in a nursery, or you can put it up in your entryway, like a nice grid on the wall during Easter or spring in general. Or you can have these in a bathroom or a guest room year round. I really do think these are so unique, and unique artwork always makes your guests feel like your house is a home and it is yours. I also have this, which would be great for spring in the booth. Papillons. I love a good tapestry, and this one looks gorgeous. I really don't think this one will last long, but you never know. Sometimes I say that about things and then they don't sell for a whole year, so we'll see what happens. This pillow, which I love, and it's Ralph Lauren, or Lauren, however you feel like saying it. What I'm going to do to clean this is I have sprayed it down with tons of spray Lysol. It's a feather pillow, so you can't really wash it. But I am going to refluff it in the dryer and help get any dust out that might be in there. It looks like a brand new pillow insert in there. So that is how I'm going to clean and disinfect that. And then this is going to get cleaned and disinfected in my washing machine with some Lysol laundry detergent as well. But it looks so good in my booth now. It fluffed up really well. I wanted to keep this actually, but I'm in the middle of decluttering my house too, so I couldn't keep it. And then I have this metal tray with the birds on it. Very cute, but I think we can make this look cooler. I just noticed it's got some damage on there, so let's give this a makeover. I'm going to be painting the whole thing with some white chalk paint, the same one that I used before on those hearts. I have already painted the backside. If you are new to my channel, you probably have never heard me say this yet, but I love to paint all my things, whatever I'm working on, my projects, upside down first. Every time I do that, the project turns out so much better. So I highly recommend doing it that way. But let's get back to talking about goals for 2025. What are your goals for 2025? Some more of my goals are still the financial ones, which would be, like I said, we're saving up for the kids' cars. We want to go to Disney. And another thing that I want to do is become debt-free eventually. Like, the only big debt we have right now is that we are doing, well, we did a home renovation. We're not finished with it yet, but we got out a loan to do a home renovation, and I want to earn as much possible extra income doing every kind of hustle I possibly can this year to pay that off as soon as we can. Now, I antiqued the backside and painted it and all that already, and I'm going to use this Laura Ashley wrapping paper to like decoupage onto the front inside of the tray. I think this looks so cute, very 1960s and shabby chic. Let me know what you think of it, though, because I feel like this might be too taste specific of mine. Sometimes it's hard to know if something really looks beautiful to everybody or if it's just me that thinks that. So I really do like to hear whether or not you guys like this stuff. If when you see it, you think it looks great. I really want to know that because that helps me in my resale booth. So my things that I'm doing as my side hustles to earn money is, of course, flipping furniture, which I still do and sell out of my booth. I'm also going to be clearing out my garage and not buying any new items. So that will be a huge save on my budget. I won't be spending a lot of money in order to earn money. And I will be also, getting space in my house, in my garage and whatnot. But I'm going to be reselling everything that's in there and trying to be as cost effective with every flip that I possibly can. The way that I'm going to decoupage this in here is to use some clear coat. I'm using the Big Top clear coat, and I'm doing that because it's a zero VOC product, and it actually, Mod Podge actually stinks more than this. So this is really good stuff. I'm really glad that you guys have recommended this brand to me. Very, very awesome. Thank you so much for that. And another thing I'm doing to save money is making my own cleaning products now. You guys have been with me through all of this asthma journey that I've been going through where everything is messing me up with my lungs. So I am making my own homemade, more natural cleaners and using more natural like body products, not buying any makeups, not buying any fragrance stuff. So that's all helping me meet financial goals this year as well. And then of course, starting my second channel, that's really not going to make an income for a while. Usually it takes a while for a channel to meet the requirements to start earning income, but I figured the sooner that I start it, the sooner it can hit that milestone someday. So sometimes you just have to take those first steps to do something. I know that a large majority of my viewers here are retired or near retirement, and there are a lot of ways that you can do side hustles like I'm doing to resell things or to save money if you're on a limited budget. So I just wanted to share some of that stuff with you as well. So I have these 3 items that were just in my laundry room and waiting to be done. These aren't things from my garage, but stuff that would have been in my garage. I got a lampshade from Hobby Lobby. They're the cheapest I've found so far out of any store when it comes to buying lampshades. They're cheaper than Walmart when you buy lampshades there. So I got a lampshade there for this lamp. Super cool. I got this lamp from the Goodwill bins, and it's literally brand new. Still had the zip tie on there and everything, holding up that cord to the top. But it's in perfect condition. And I'm guessing because of the weight, I maybe spent $5 on it. And I'm going to resell it in my booth for $19.99. And I had to do minimal effort. So that is a really good flip right there. I love it when it's simple, easy stuff like that. The next thing is this tiny little wall hanging decor. I'm guessing it's probably from the 70s. What do you think? But this, all I had to do was wipe it down and take it to the booth and style it really cute in there. I put it on like center stage in my booth. It looks really nice. The next thing that I had was this framed cat picture that I got from Goodwill. This I actually paid like with a barcode for at a regular Goodwill, not a Goodwill outlet. I said that in a really weird way. Anyway, I don't remember. I think it was like $5.99. But somebody had stapled a plastic covered print of a cat inside there, and I went to take it off and I accidentally broke the wire on the back. But luckily that wire is extra long, so I'll be able to reuse it and retie it back together. But let's cut this out and actually make it the right size for this frame. So it's kind of an awkward fit because it has that little name on the bottom that talks about when the painting was done and whatnot. So every time I tried to center it, it would show like half that box. Or if I tried to show the whole box, then that border around the outside looked weird. So I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and just erase that box from my issue here. I'm going to paint it first with a chalk paint as a primer since it's black letters. I didn't want it to show through. And then I went over that whole border with a really pretty antique white color, almost a tan, and covered all that up to where we had a uniform border around the entire picture.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across as a cool guy, someone is the opposite. And all my friends are leaving, but I want to stay here. Can we just stay here? Maybe just one more drink. I can't help but think, where have you been? All my life, all lonely nights. You were always there at the same damn bar. I just never looked your way. And I've seen every ocean, but I've never seen a color blue. Look into your eyes. Blue. When I'm nervous, I talk too much and overshare things. Yeah, I can be a mess, but you somehow like me for me. And all your friends are wasted. You wanna stay here? Oh, we should just stay here.
Look at how cute this turned out. Man, I would love to have a kitten. Look at how sweet. I swear, but the kitten distribution system hasn't sent me one yet. We'll be waiting patiently, I guess, until then. Over here, I see a candle stand and another candle stand. So let's see what we can do with these. Where's this from? This one's from Crate and Barrel. Oh my gosh. You would really be surprised at how much Crate and Barrel and Pottery Barn stuff that I find at the Goodwill bins. I'm going to put these wood rounds on here. I got these for $3 a piece on sale because I only buy things when they're on sale, unless it's an emergency, I guess. And I'm going to be adhering those on with some glue, but first I'm going to paint them in that same bright spring green color that I did that cute little tray with. And one of the reasons that I'm painting it green is because, like, for one, I already have the green. It's going to save me money to use this green. And two, I love to do things together all in one color scheme. I've already started with that same white. I'm doing that same antiquing technique on many things. And now I'm going to continue on with using this green on other items. When you do that, it makes your decor look really cohesive. It looks more planned out. It looks like you actually bought it as a set together. And I think that it looks really nice. And when you put things in your booth that are all color coordinated this way, it makes everything come together really, really well. So if you're somebody who resells, I highly recommend using a paint on many different flips within your booth to make things look cohesive. And if you're not a flipper and if you're just doing it for your own home decor, it's going to save you money to do it that way. And also it makes things look more expensive and more planned out, and your whole home looks more put together that way. I put on E6000 and some hot glue to attach these on here. The hot glue just holds it in place while the E6000 is drying. Then I flipped it over and started painting the top. Again, I started from upside down and worked my way right side up with my painting. This is the method that works best. And yes, I will always and forever be tripping over my own tongue when I talk. Once these are completely dry, I will be doing that same antiquing technique on there because I feel like this plain green is a little too stark compared to the color of the stands. You could also paint the stands the same color as that top wood round. I think that would look really cute actually. But for the sake of time today, I decided to keep the bottoms original. I also like how the darker base looks with the green. I think that it creates dimension, and I think that adding pops of darker colors throughout the booth is really helpful as well as decorating in your own home. It's good to have a little pop of black or dark colors here and there throughout your decor. I don't know the scientific reason behind that, but it does just make everything look a little bit better. Adding some greenery nearby these pieces when you decorate with them really helps that color pop. It really brings that spring touch to the place. The next thing we're going to work on is a few things. I'm going to do this bird cage. All I had to do was wipe it down and set it in the booth. It looks so cute and it's sold already. The next thing is going to be this rolling pin. I have more than one rolling pin as well, and this basket. I decided to put them together in the booth, and the basket has already sold. I don't think the rolling pins have sold yet though. I'm gonna have to check. Then I have this cute little basket with little fake plants inside it, and I staged these next to these cute little fairies to look like a little fairy garden. And then I have this little Easter tree thing that I set in the booth next to all the other Easter things on this big dining hutch that I have in my booth. And then I found this cute little tin that says Savannah, Georgia on it, but it has the cutest painting all over it. I think this is the perfect shabby chic tin to decorate with or keep your sewing supplies in. I've also had this bar stool for a while. My daughter's wiping it down for me. I got it from a yard sale for $5, and once that was clean, we took that to the booth. It's perfect for spring, you know, spring chicken after all. That was so cheesy. I'm sorry. The next thing is this lamp I've had for a while. I actually wanted to keep it, but I don't have a place for it, and this would look so cute in a nursery. I think you could put all sorts of pretty ballerina themes with this, or just that grand millennial style that's so popular. I also found this silver little cup or pitcher, and I found a little metal pot. Well, not very little, but inside this pot is something funny. There's a little metal scoop in here. I got all these things from the Goodwill bins for dirt cheap, and all they needed was a light cleaning, disinfecting, and they were staged nicely in the booth. Then this beautiful, not so little vase, I think looks really great now next to some more greenery. You have to stage things how you would use them. Like this ball right here, I staged them in a way, or staged it in a way that you would decorate with it at home. This cute little lamp, I had no idea if it worked or not. Put a light bulb in there, and thankfully, voila, let there be light. It did work. I am pretty lucky that way, although I have had some that didn't end up working. But this lamp sold immediately. Hallelujah. It was so cute, and it had a marble base. Got that from the Goodwill bins. Next, I have this cute little frame. It's really cute. I'll show you what it says in just a second. But I got this from the Goodwill bins. It says, "The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord." Isn't that the truth? Amen to that. And sometimes it's hard to see the good, but we have to try. This cute little, what do you call this? I don't know, pot or crock. Yeah, a crock. I think this would be a crock. I think this crock is not antique, but it's so cute, and it has sold already. It just needed to be cleaned up and put in the booth. I love a quick flip like that. Inside it were all these little wooden utensils that I'm selling separately for 95 cents, or no, sorry, $1.95 a piece. And then I found these two jackets in here that I had bought for myself, and I threw those in the wash. Now, I don't show my thrifted clothes on this channel anymore. Most people were not super interested in seeing it, but I am planning to put my thrift clothing hauls on my other channel. So if you're into that, then definitely check it out over there. This was two really good quality pieces. I spent around $3 or $4 for the pair, and that blue one is actually linen. Very awesome. The next thing I got in here, well, let's move this out of the way. But the next thing that I've got in here is this metal little planter, and I had to hose that off and clean it really good before I took it to my booth. I love pieces like these because they're easy to stage. They sell like hotcakes. This one sold immediately after I put it in my booth, and you can do so much with it too. You can decorate with it inside or outside. Some more things I found inside this box. I have this cute little, I don't even know, this little wooden tool caddy with a chalkboard on the front. It just needed to be cleaned up, and then I found these antique books that I had picked up from the Goodwill bins. I mean, all of this is from the Goodwill bins actually, but I thought that it would be really cute to actually stage these together. So I put those antique books inside this little tool caddy. I didn't write anything on the chalkboard because I'll leave that up to whoever would like to buy it for their space, but it looks so cute. And now I have this little metal trivet, which I think I'm gonna actually keep. I need a metal trivet like this for my countertops for when I put hot stuff on there. And then I have these four wicker, like you put those under your plates. I forgot what you would call that, but yeah, I stacked these nicely on top of that cute riser that we made and sold them individually. I also have these frames. I bought these from a regular Goodwill. I think they were $3.99 a piece. Yep, $3.99 a piece, and I resold them, I believe, for $6.95 each, and they sold on the first day they were in there. I thought these would be perfect to help stage my booth for Valentine's Day, and they sold so fast. I'm so happy about that. They're really pretty, and I had like this hammered finish gold frame, which I thought was unique, but the prints themselves were just stunning. I love peonies. I believe that's how you pronounce that type of flower. I always thought peonies were roses. Nope, they're not, but they're like big grand roses.
And this stunning painting, that's definitely an antique. Really amazing. Great aunt of Irene somebody. So cool.
If I had a wall space for this, I would have kept it because I think it is so cool. It is worn in all the right ways, and it sold right away in my booth.
This frame right here. That's a cool one. I can clean that up. I think I have the perfect spot for this. I have a light switch here, and it makes it to where you can't hang anything else on this wall. So I thought, what if I get an empty frame and frame the light switch? Why not?
But as it is right now, it's a little bit too stark of a contrast to my white walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paintbrush that was sitting in a Ziploc bag that I had been using to paint things white with, and I'm just going to use the paint that's on the paintbrush to do a little bit of a whitewash and bring out all the details on this frame, as well as lighten it up a little bit. You can get the same effect with white wax as well, but this was free. Like, it was the paint left over on the paintbrush that I would have washed off. So it cost me nothing, and it only took me a little bit of time. I actually did not fast forward this section because I specifically wanted to show you how quickly I flipped this frame into something usable in my own home. That's it. It's done. And it was such a light coat that it immediately dried, and all I had to do was hang it up in that spot that I wanted it in. And this thing, I got it from the Goodwill bins, and I probably spent $1 on it, I'm not sure, and a couple seconds of my time, and now I have this really elegant, beautiful frame on the wall. I think it goes really well with that clock. I got that clock on clearance, at Hobby Lobby for like $30. They're usually really expensive. So now I have this very expensive looking corner in my stairwell, but it only cost me like pennies on the dollar. What do you think of all my projects today? I had a blast flipping them, getting them in my booth, and now I have a really hard thing to share with you guys, which is that our sweet girl Piper did not make it. So I don't think I'm going to make it through talking about this without crying, but I really do have something important to say. So I want to thank you all so much for those who donated and those who just reached out in general. I know some people may think, oh, it's just a dog, but she wasn't. And over 100 people donated to her GoFundMe for her hospital bills. And I feel like you deserve to know what you were donating for. You helped give us 3 more days with her. We thought that the treatment was actually going to fix her situation that she was in, and she was doing so well. And even the doctors were saying that it was like this miracle that the treatment was working so well with her. And she was already 10 years old, so they were concerned, with what she had. I think it was called like IMHR or something, but her body was attacking and killing her blood. And so the treatment takes days to start working because they have to put them on prednisone, and that helps to suppress the immune system. And so the bills that were stacking up were keeping her alive to give her time for those medications to work. And it seemed like it was working, and she was getting blood transfusions, and everything was going perfectly until suddenly it wasn't. And on the 3rd day, she woke up and she couldn't stand. And when they tried to give her treatment, she collapsed. And the doctor thought that they could give her a different type of transfusion and that it would work, but it didn't. And her body just quickly deteriorated. So we just stayed with her through the end of it, and we were all there. She was so loved. People literally would call and talk to her on the phone, and I got to call everyone who loved her back home in Arizona, and they got to say goodbye. I'm sorry, this is just still really hard to talk about, but because of you guys, we got 3 more days with her that we wouldn't have had. And I want to tell you about who she was, because it's just truly amazing. She's such a good dog, and she went through a lot, and I think it's important to share because of the kindness that you all have shown me. And I want you to know that it went to a really good purpose. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it through this, and I really hate that I'm crying through this, but I don't think that I'll ever get to a point where I won't cry when I talk about it, so I just gotta get through it. But anyway, Piper came to us as a foster. It was like fate. It was the craziest thing ever, because I had 2 young children. I was afraid of pit bulls, and I was running an in-home daycare at the time. And she was a 9-month-old pit bull with 2 broken legs and nerve damage in her tail. She had to have surgeries for both of her legs and her tail amputated. And she was only 9 months old, and we fostered her through those surgeries in order to get her off of the euthanasia list, because they were going to put her down for it. And for some reason, I just felt like we had to, and we bonded so hard with her that we ended up adopting her. And she has been with us through everything. So she was our protector while my husband worked in the oil field and was gone half the year. And then again as a crane operator, and gone all through late nights and weekends, and he was just gone a lot, and she was there protecting me and my kids. And the sweetest dog ever. Like, she literally would give kisses to our chickens. What dog would do that? Most dogs try and eat the chickens, but she has been there to help me raise my 4 children. She helped raise them, I'm telling you. And she's just been the one thing that's been there with me through everything. Even when my husband couldn't be there because he was gone working, when I was alone with raising my children, she's always been that constant for me for so long. And you guys giving me just 3 extra days with her is more than I can ever possibly thank you for. So thank you so much. She is so loved by so many people. And I'm sorry for ending the video on such a sad note, but I just want to say thank you again, and I will see you in the next video where we empty out more of my garage.